everybody. Well, good afternoon, everyone. We thank y'all for being with us for such a great occasion. Certainly want to thank a lot of hard-working people here at the Capitol today for their work on this bill, including one of my floor leaders, Representative Burt Reeves, obviously our Lieutenant Governor. Jeff Duncan is here this morning, our First Lady, Marty Kemp, and youngest daughter, Amy Porter. Not sure why she's not in school, but I'll find that out in a minute. I also want to thank Representative Katie Dempsey. I know Rick Jackson's here today, Ted Burdo, Director Rawlings, and the DFACS team. Appreciate what you all do, not only today, but every day. Senator Chuck Payne, Representative Trey Kelly, Representative Mary Margaret Oliver, our Speaker Pro Tem in the House, Jan Jones, and Senator Brian Strickland. Thank you all for your hard work, not only on this, but for a great legislative session, and I appreciate you guys being here today. And I certainly appreciate the work that you have all done in conjunction with our team to help loving families and a lot of kids, and that's what we're here to talk about today. As you all know, early on in my administration, we began working with members of the General Assembly to build on their successful efforts to reform and modernize our state's adoption and foster care laws. Together, we've made it easier and less expensive to adopt. We've streamlined the burdensome process, and we've cut government red tape while doing it. And the data shows that our efforts are certainly paying off. The number of children in foster care in Georgia continues to decrease, with just over 11,000 children in the state's care, which thankfully is the lowest since 2015. Children are transitioning from foster care to return to their families, to be adopted, or to be placed in permanent guardianship. Last year, 1,429 children were adopted into permanent homes by new forever families, representing an increase of over 17% from 2018. And while these statistics are promising, there is still more work to be done to improve the lives of children in our state. And I'm proud to say that the legislation I will sign today received broad bipartisan support. HB 154 strengthens our state's commitment to being an adoption-friendly state and streamlines many procedural requirements on adopting families. SB 28 modernizes and enhances the work done by the General Assembly in previous years to strengthen Georgia's juvenile code. I'll also be signing legislation supported by Lieutenant Governor Duncan and many others that will allow grant tuition and fee waivers for Georgia's eligible foster and adopted students at Georgia's post-secondary institutions. Placing our kids in safe, loving homes is not controversial. It is not an issue that often gets enough attention or steals the spotlight, and it should never be a matter of partisan politics, because the most fundamental need for any child is a safe and loving home. By making it more affordable to adopt, reducing bureaucratic red tape, and championing the safety of children across our state, we can ensure that Georgia's children are placed in those homes in a secure and safer future for generations to come. The many stakeholders who are with me today have worked tirelessly to improve Georgia's foster care and adoption systems. Countless Georgia children are better off thanks to your efforts. Thank you all so much. Before I turn it over to Representative Burt Reeves for his remarks, I just wanted to take a moment and thank him for his years of dedicated service to the state of Georgia in the State House. Burt has been a floor leader for my administration from day one, and he has certainly not been scared to tackle tough issues. His work on adoption and foster care reform got us to where we are here today, and his tireless work in bipartisan relationships are the reason I will be signing an overhaul to Georgia's citizens arrest statute next week. Burt may be about to go to work for Georgia Tech, but he's been a bulldog down here at the Capitol on a lot of tough issues. I greatly appreciate his friendship and all the support that he has given me and my administration, but I also just appreciate what you've given to your state, Representative Burt Reeves.
Thank you, Governor Kemp. I guess trying to think on my feet here. What you said about a bulldog, that stung, okay? Go Jackets. Today is actually my first day as employee, as Vice President of Institute Relations at Georgia Tech, so it's strange coming in here today. I'm missing my, I no longer have the tag and a different title. I was here on Friday, and now I'm here again today, but some things have changed. But thank you so much, Governor Kemp, for your support on all of this. Gosh, you know, way back 4 or 5 years ago when we first started working on adoption reform in the House, when you were Secretary of State, I would get text messages from then Secretary of State Kemp about encouraging me and thanking me for what I was doing on adoption work. And when he won the race to be governor of Georgia and called me and asked me to be one of his floor leaders, one of the things that we talked about in that conversation was a commitment, and he had campaigned on a commitment to continue adoption and foster care reform. And that was one of the things that we talked about on that call, and he told me that he wanted to allow the General Assembly and empower me as a floor leader for him to do all the things that we had already put in motion and to continue with it. And so I'm really thankful. Today is kind of a fitting conclusion for me since my career here is technically over, but to get to talk about this today is very fitting. And it really all started in the summer of 2015, which is 6 years ago. It's kind of crazy. The Georgia Council of Adoption Lawyers approached me and asked me if I would be willing to sponsor a 100-page plus adoption modernization bill. And of course I said yes. I mean, that's why we run for office, is to get the opportunity to be involved in things like this. But I'd never done an adoption as a lawyer. I'd been in juvenile court a lot, but was really unfamiliar with adoption. And I really had no idea what was going to unfold from there. Adoption and foster care reform wasn't the issue that I came to the Capitol to seek to tackle and to work on. But as I like to say, it wasn't the issue I came here for, but the issue found me, and it really changed me and changed my heart and changed a lot of my focus as a legislator. It took 3 years and a lot of hard work to get the original modernization bill passed, which was known as House Bill 159. There was a little bit of drama that was involved there for a year or so. But what ended up happening was finally in 2018, we passed the first major overhaul of Georgia Adoption Code in over 30 years. And it modernized adoption and made it easier, more efficient, and we allowed our Georgia families to stay in Georgia to adopt as opposed to going to other states where it was easier. And I had no idea at the time that this was going to happen, but what really happened was House Bill 159 started some momentum in this building. And truly, there was a lot of synergy that then began to develop upon the idea of improving child welfare, not just through adoption, but also foster care, mental health for children, and many other things. And I can tell y'all that since then, every person in this building has worked, as Governor Kemp said, in a bipartisan fashion. The House, the Senate, the governor's office have all worked together to continue to champion this area. And in 3 years, we have had significant reform on these issues. It has been the governor's legislative priority. It's been Lieutenant Governor Duncan's legislative priority, and it's continued to be a priority of the House of Representatives from Speaker Ralston and Speaker Pro Tem Jones. And this is what's so great, y'all, is that it's worked. It's actually worked. We have seen adoptions increase. We've seen Georgia families adopting in Georgia as opposed to going to other states. And most significantly, we've seen our foster care population, as Governor Kemp mentioned, reduced by literally thousands over the last couple of years. And this is the kind of thing that, unfortunately, you just don't read about this enough on the front page of the newspaper. But by gosh, we should read about this in the newspaper, because this is big news. And this is the kind of thing that you stand on top of the mountain and you scream and shout and celebrate about it. And so we are really thankful. Lives are being changed. Forever homes are being created for children who've had the roughest and the most difficult pathway imaginable, and families are growing. And it has taken a village to be able to do this. And I'm so thankful for the leadership of Wendy Clifton, Melissa Carter, Ruth Claiborne, Jim Outman, Craig Foster with the governor's office, Director Tom Rawlings, who's here, I think up here somewhere, Representative Mary Margaret Oliver, my seatmate, who I care so much for, has been working on these issues for years and has just been an incredible support for me and all of these initiatives. And Representative Marcus Wiedauer, I believe, is here somewhere. He was here. There he is, right there. I'm handing this issue off to you, brother. So Representative Wiedauer has shown a great interest in this and has been integral in what we've done, and I'm now, and I look forward to working with you in that capacity. Just as a point of personal privilege here, being able to serve in this building and have the really rare and amazing opportunity to be a state representative has been the greatest privilege of my life for the last 7 years. And I am so thankful for what this building has done for children across Georgia. Again, we are making a difference in this, and every single person in this state can be proud about that. I am thankful for the support that I've received from my colleagues and all of you on these issues, and so thankful for the governor's leadership here. I really, really, truly believe that we have helped make Georgia a better state. I look forward to being involved in a different role, but being involved nonetheless as we continue to work through child welfare here in Georgia. I wouldn't change a thing. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Governor Kemp.
Start with SB 20. Senator Chuck Payne. SB 20. Certainly want to thank, as Bert did, Melissa Carter, Wendy Clifton, and Director Rawlings for their hard work on this great piece of legislation. SB 107, this is the Lieutenant Governor's signature piece of legislation. Appreciate his leadership on this, as well as the Senator Brian Strickland, who I believe is here today, and Representative Reeves carried this in the House. House Bill 548, Representative Katie Dempsey and Floor Leader Bo Hatchett carried this in the Senate. is dealing with another defects issue in our judicial branch. Appreciate Director Rawlings' leadership on this one as well. And HB 154. This is continuing our commitment to being an adoption-friendly state by proposing necessary changes to the adoption laws that lessen the burden of adoption